Okay, all right, guys. I am so excited today to have Whitney Warr on here. Whitney is like the most precious, sweetest thing ever. Whitney, was the first time I met you. The first time I met you was not when we did that meeting, was it?
It was up in Salt Lake, I think. Yeah, because that was the first time, right? And then, oh, no, 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 you're right.
Was it convention when we did that meeting together? Or did I meet you before
Vegas.
that? Yeah.
Vegas, yeah.
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 So, anyways, but I mean, I fell in love with her. She's precious. I knew her story before, and I love her story, but I didn't know that, I didn't put two and two together. And so she's on stage in Vegas at Opportunity Meeting telling her story. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I love that story. That's one of my favorite stories. So she's going to tell us her story today and then give us some of her tips. And so, take notes. She's amazing. She's a diamond. She just moved to Salt Lake. Were you in the Vegas area?
We were in the Vegas area, and we moved to southern Utah, actually, not Salt Lake, the
Okay.
opposite side of Utah,
Okay.
where I grew up.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so I just did not Opportunity, Super Saturday in Salt Lake, and so I got to see her there again. And so that was
Yes.
so fun. So anyways, take it away. I'm going to give it to you, and you just let me know if you need anything.
All right, perfect. Thank you. It's such an honor to be here. And like Beth said, I was confused. I was thinking we met at an opportunity event, which we did, but it was in Vegas first. So anyways, I adore Beth, and I'm so honored to be here and pour into you guys. And I hope that my message is valuable for you. I think that hopefully it's a little bit different than maybe, things that you hear consistently. And I feel very passionate about my message in that, we need to make sure that we're reaching out to those and those who are having financial illness as much as we are, those that are ill physically. So the reason I'm so passionate about that story is when I found Plexus, and I actually went on the hunt, I was searching for a solution to, we were financially in a crisis. We were about to lose the home that we were in the process of purchasing before we even bought it. Just long story short, I had been with a direct sales company. I tried multi-level marketing a couple times before, gave it 110%, and lost more money than I ever made. So I had no interest in anything like this. And so I do relate to those that, are out there that say, oh, I've tried that before. It's not for me. But then God knew better. And so he kind of tricked me into doing this jewelry direct sales business, which I didn't really, I mostly just did it because I just wanted the jewelry package that came with it. But then all of a sudden I started having some success with it very quickly and just ran with it. And 8.5 years later, I found myself doing all these jewelry parties, like trapped in this little sparkly box because we were living at a level of income that was, really difficult to maintain because everything was changing. The recession really hit hard, and people were going to online shopping more than in-home parties. It was just getting harder and harder. And I was the majority of our family's income. I did well there. I was very successful. One year I was, in the top of the company, both personally and my team, in sales and recruiting, and I won lots of awards there and things. But I worked my butt off, you guys. If you can be successful at direct sales, you can kill it here with Plexus. I'm not kidding. It's so much easier what we do, and what we have has such a bigger market. And there's a huge difference between direct sales and network marketing. That's one thing I learned when I researched. But anyways, so they went out of business right before Christmas, 2014. I had 3 kids. We were living paycheck to paycheck, basically, even though I was making a really good income. And we were in the process of spending every single penny we had in savings on a down payment for this home, which was our dream home. And we knew God, like, it was one of those things that God like planted it in your way, and you weren't even like looking for it. And it was just like, there was no doubt that he wanted us to have that house. It was just like, coincidence after coincidence, or I don't see it that way. But so we're in the process of buying this home. It was like our family's Christmas. We'd walked the boys through the home. They were so excited. It had like a dream backyard. And then they announced at my company, which was Leah Sophia, that they were going out of business. And so like overnight, I lost that income. And I should have been terrified. It was scary, but at the same time, I'd been praying and praying and praying for something to change, something to give. And I kept getting these little nudges like, there's hope, hang in there, something big is coming. And when they went out of business, I saw that as the beginning to the answer of my prayers, and I was excited. So I posted on Facebook. I let everyone know, I'm looking for the best solution for my family financially. I want to know, show me everything you got. I'm researching. I want to look at everything. And I had people messaging me, like, I can't even tell you how many messages I got from people I didn't even know, because I guess because of my success I'd had with that company, and it was big news that they were going out of business. So everyone was trying to recruit me to everything. And so what I did is I made a list. I said, if I could dream up a business, this is what it would look like. No parties, something that would make a difference in people's lives, something that's affordable, zero quotas. I can't remember everything that was on there, but it was long. And I was like, I doubt there's really anything that exists like this out there, but I'm going to find the best match possible. And so I made a questionnaire out of that, and I sent it to everyone that messaged me and everyone that I knew in any type of direct sales or network marketing business. I even had people trying to recruit me to like real estate and other stuff because, they knew that I had been successful. So I went through and I sent everyone that questionnaire. I said, answer all these questions for me. And it was basically answering if they met all of those requirements I was looking for. And I said, I want a copy of your compensation plan. I want a copy of proof of income from you and someone successful in your upline. And so then it was just like going through this huge stack of information and researching and looking. And I got to this company called Plexus Worldwide. This girl had messaged me. I didn't have a clue who she was. And I had heard of it before just because I had a friend that like posted about it, but it was all about weight loss and it like didn't intrigue me whatsoever. But the more like I looked at their compensation plan, and it was like nothing else in my stack of papers. Like it was so different. And I was seeing proof of income from many people like earning six figures their first year or whatever, so I knew there was huge earning potential fast with it. And that's what I was looking for. I loved the fact that it was network marketing. After what I discovered, there's a big difference, and I would research the difference if I were you. That gave me the freedom to work from home. I was so done doing parties. I never wanted to do another party in my life. So the compensation plan immediately struck me as, this is different. This is special. This sounds too good to be true. That was the compensation plan. So then I start looking into these products and researching ingredients and testimonials, and it was like mind blowing. So I was thinking, like here we have this compensation plan that's like unlike anything else out there. And now we have these products that like, if what half of these people are saying are true, unbelievable, like life-changing, and you can't go buy this anywhere else. There's no other company that I looked at, and I narrowed it down. Like I found Plexus probably like halfway through my stack of papers and research, but I was determined I was going to finish it out so that way I could be ethical and say I looked at like everything people sent me. And so I did, and I narrowed it down to the ones like I felt had the most potential. And Plexus was just like, it blew everyone out of the water. I couldn't believe it. And if you haven't watched the video, Tim and Michelle Thomas did a Rock the Pink live with Natalie Fuller. If you haven't watched that video, I would highly recommend you watch that, because she breaks down, and I'm not a numbers person. That's the funny thing. Like I'm not a green personality, but when my family came down to the wire where like I had to do this, I had to make the right choice, or we weren't buying groceries next month, and we weren't, we didn't even know, it was terrifying. So I became that green person when I needed to, and I was researching like crazy, and my husband really helped me. He's a numbers person. But Natalie Fuller breaks it down. Like, I saw enough that I knew Plexus was unlike anything out there. Their compensation was far superior to anything. I had companies offering me bonuses to join with them. I had them like basically trying to buy me out, like, oh, we'll double all your bonuses your first 3 months. We'll start you out with a team and all this stuff. And people were sending me welcome packs and starter kits and all this stuff. And like, Plexus didn't offer me anything. And I turned down a call to like fly to Chicago, meet with corporate. I turned down, like, it was crazy. You'd have thought like I was the Celeste Gwynn, which I wasn't even like that big of a deal, but I was very successful at the level I was at anyways. But so I saw that much potential with Plexus. And now, out of desperation, you guys, I hit the ground running, and this was December. So who's going to join your team in December, right before Christmas, right before New Year's? So I strategized, and I looked at the Fast Start program, and I said, okay, my goal was to Fast Start Ruby, and I actually got super close to that. I Fast Started Senior Gold. I was closer to Ruby, I think, than I was to Senior Gold, but we moved that same month because we were I had that much faith. My husband and I had that much faith in Plexus when we found it and really looked at it, that we chose to follow through and purchase that house. On 100% faith. God was telling us, this is going to be okay. I got this. I'm giving you this house. I'm going to take care of you, and this is your answer. And so we jumped in. Anyone in their right mind would have thought we were crazy because we bought the house. And my first month, I think I earned like $4,000. And so I knew we were going to be okay. And then, within 9 months, I hit Emerald. I thought, like, with looking at the compensation plan and all that, I felt like it took me longer than I thought it should to get there. But I did not have a system in place. I did not have structure. I'm really like kind of just a hot mess blue. And so I was really good at getting people excited and seeing this opportunity for what it was. But anyway, that doesn't really matter. But I felt like I made a deal with God, with the Lord. I said, if you, I promise I'll make my family first, my first priority. Because for 8.5 years doing that party plan business, I wasn't able to make my family first. Like, I was gone so many evenings, every single weekend. Like, and my family was much younger, and that was hard. That took a hit on my family. And so that was part of the deal that I made with him. I said, if you really make this work for us, I will give it my all, but I promise I will always make my family first. And I did do that. And I still had quick success, overall. I was Emerald in 9 months. And then the back office, the chaotic back office changeover of 2015, my team had so much momentum at that point that we went Sapphire within 14 months, that March. And then I hit my leadership lid big time and plateaued. And I had to learn to catch up with that and become the leader that size of a team needed. So for a whole year, I sat there over a year and until I hit Diamond. And that was such a great experience. I'm grateful for that. I wouldn't take any of it back. But here's the thing that I really want to emphasize. When people think I can't share Plexus and I really want to wait until I have my own testimonial. I want to wait till I lose 10 pounds and then I'll start sharing. When I started sharing Plexus, I hadn't even tried the pink drink. Okay. So that is absolutely a zero necessity to be successful with this. And when I was reaching out to people, I was promoting the opportunity of a lifetime. I wasn't promoting, oh my gosh, how do you feel? Like, what symptoms do you have? I've got products that can fix that for you. I was promoting, you are not going to believe what I found. Like, this is going to change my life, and I want you to do this with me. Like, I have been researching, and you would not believe what I have found. That was the message, like that was the tone that I was reaching out to people with. And you would not believe how many people are wishing and hoping for something like this, but they don't understand that this is what it is. You know what I mean? They don't understand how powerful and how incredible this opportunity is, because most people don't ever really take the time to look at the compensation in depth and compare it to what else is out there, and look at people who've had quick success with it, and how, you know, how doable it is for different personality types and for all different types of people. But when you do take the time to do that, you have so much confidence and excitement in sharing it, that that was what springboarded me into fast success, even though I was a hot mess and I didn't have a good system for a team. So we had tons of attrition, but still we had so much excitement. And that's the people that joined with me originally. They found hope. Like, they were so confident in this opportunity that everyone was sharing like crazy. And it's just that duplication, the power of duplication, just was like wildfire on my team. So we started a team with business builders, and that's pretty much what it, you know, continued through for a very long time. It did get to the point, you know, eventually where we had like people, especially people that have a like health background. I find that they tend to build a team, even if they, you know, want to be a business builder, they tend to build a team of wholesale shoppers, because they're promoting health. They're promoting, like, they're so excited about, and that's their expertise is, you know, the product side. But whenever I go back and I make that my base and my focus, and I've had to come back to that several times and remind myself that, you know, you're going to touch a lot more lives, and you're going to impact a lot more people, and you're going to build a way bigger, faster growing business and team if you focus on the opportunity first, and you focus on that. Here's another thought too that I think is pretty powerful, that I think a lot of people don't think of, is we all agree, I think everyone on this call would agree, that these products change lives, and every person needs these products, right? We know that. Yeah, like, we get it. But so many times we reach out to people and they hesitate, or they don't respond, or they'll give us an excuse, or whatever it is. I think the majority of the time, I think probably 95% of people out there would want to try Plexus if they thought they could afford it. If they thought they could fit it into their budget, I think most people would want to give it a try. So when you come to them and you're presenting an opportunity to earn extra income in the nooks and crannies of their day on their own terms, and a side bonus is it comes with these incredible products that are absolutely life-changing and can help you with all, you know, all that stuff. It's a whole different mindset for them, because when you're coming, like, it puts their mind in a different place. Do you see what I'm saying? So you don't get that cost objection. So I don't know. That's just kind of my message. I guess it's kind of all over the place. That's how I am. That's how I roll. But it really, when we have a gift here with Plexus that is so much bigger than most people understand. And most people, like, we all agree, yes, life-changing products, because we see the testimonials are something that we can, like, basically hold in our hands. We can see, you know, that people are shrinking. We can see that they're eliminating prescriptions, things like that. But it's so much harder for people to grasp the concept of how life-changing the opportunity is and how unique and special it is. And there's no other products out there in the world like Plexus products. Absolutely none. There's no other income opportunity in the world out there like Plexus. And if you don't believe me, you go do the research, and you would have as much confidence in this as I do. And that gives you a whole different, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a whole different, when you're reaching out to people, like a different, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. It's like right at the tip of my tongue. But you reach out to people with with that much confidence and excitement, a different tone, I guess. They sense that, and they want a part of what you're offering because they sense hope. They sense, wow, this is legit. Like, she's super excited about this. And another thing too is, like, the success comes easier with sharing the more successful you become. But no, you don't have to be successful to entice people. Like, my very first month, obviously, like, I didn't have a paycheck of mine to show them. So you better believe I was showing them Tamara Holloway's paycheck and the other girls that I got hooked up with. And so, don't be afraid to be bold with people and be excited. And here's another thought. Like, if you've been the type of person, you're probably all business builders here on this call, or you probably wouldn't be taking the time to be on this call. If you are the type of leader that builds a wholesale shoppers team, that means products first. That's what you guys promote. That's how you build a team, products first. And then the opportunity, you can absolutely shift gears and become a leader and a person that promotes hope and opportunity with the benefits of health alongside it. And when you do that, you build a whole different type of team, and it builds so much faster. And I think it's so much more secure too. Because people, when they have their products paid for, they're a lot less likely to leave. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's just a couple thoughts that I have. And I don't know if you want to do like some Q&A or whatever.
Yeah,
Beth,
let me ask you this. And I know, like Whitney and her husband, like Monty, they are super like health people. So when she says, opportunity first, she had to like know that the products were good too, because they are super like health people. And so
right.
I will say, and I will be honest, that the opportunity is hard for me. And hello, like, it should not be hard for me because it has changed my life. And yes, I tell people that it's changed my life and they've seen that it's changed my life. But for some reason, I always start with products, and maybe that's because what I knew. But one thing I want to say, and what she said was, you don't have to have results. I started sharing before I started taking Plexus, and guys, I didn't believe that it was going to work for me. I knew it had worked for Celeste and Ariele and Rainey. I'd seen them take the products for 8 months, and so I knew that it worked for them, but I didn't believe it was going to work for me still. But again, God had other plans. Y'all know my story, and I did. And so, but I will say my first bunch of people are business builders. And even though I didn't even know how to build a business, and this for sure wasn't going to be a business, like, we just did it together. And so, but so how do you, like, if you're messaging somebody, how do you start with the business? Like, what, give us an example of something that you would say, because this is where I struggle. No, I don't know. I don't know why it's a struggle. I think it's because, I've always, in my head, we don't talk money, we don't talk this, we don't talk that. Yeah. And so for me, I think that's where something I have to overcome. And so if you were going to message a friend or somebody or whatever, how would you approach that? Tell us that.
Yeah. And that's probably the biggest, I think, mental setback that most people have, is they think that it's offensive to like talk money with people, or to assume that they need help financially or whatever, you know what I mean? But I think it's almost like I have such a strong testimonial of that. And it's the same as someone who has a killer health testimonial with Plexus. They're a lot more bold and willing to talk to everyone about it than people that are like, I love the products, but they don't really have that life-changing testimonial. So when you have that desperation and illness, and then this cures that for you, it gives you the opportunity to be super bold and confident and genuine with your message. So it's kind of like, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But in the beginning, of course, like, I didn't have that, but I had done the research, and that's something everyone can do. So I think if you hesitate to share this with people, then it's because you don't understand how powerful it is in improving their lives. Because if you're genuinely caring for people, then you want the best for them in all aspects of life, not just health-wise, but you want them to be blessed financially as well, and to not be stressing about finances. And I mean, there's no doubt about it. Financial illness is a huge epidemic, and that's the number one cause of divorce in this country. There are so many people that are struggling with this. And when we can become that person that, like, we research the compensation plan enough, we compare it to what else is out there, we look at other people that have been so successful, we watch Diamond documentaries, we get so much faith and excitement in this that when we reach out to people, it comes across as, oh my gosh, I have this incredible gift to offer you. The same as when we're offering them the health products, So anyways, went off on a tangent there, but I message people
what I have
now,
to say about that is, like, before, like, people are struggling and we don't know they're struggling. I was the best cover-up person ever. No one had a single clue that we had lost everything. Nobody knew, because I was put a smile on your face and fake it till you make it, right? Nobody knew that. And so, that's one thing I think of, is there are people out there who need this. I mean, they do.
Oh, many people, more people than don't.
Right.
I think there's probably more people that need the financial side more than they need the health side to start with, because everyone needs the health side. We know that, right. But it isn't accessible to them because of finances. And so if we can take that concern away, then it solves both problems at once. We're solving two problems instead of just one, right? And we're taking away the hesitation to solve the health problem, because we're helping them see that this is something that can help them both ways. You know what I mean? Right. So anyways, I message much differently now than I did in the beginning. There's a video out there, why Plexus. I did the research for you. If you want to, I can share it in the comments. I have it, just copy and paste. Okay. Oh no, we're on a Zoom, so you'll need to share it. Okay. But if you need it, just let me know.
Send it to me, and send it to me, and I'll put it out. Yeah.
Okay. So why Plexus? I did the research for you, and in there, I talk about the messages that I use to send out to people. Like, I just made a list of 100 names. I didn't prejudge anyone. In fact, I was thinking of people that would be business builders that I thought would be good at this originally. And so then I made up this message, and it was far from perfect, you guys. It was way too long, but it really caught people's attention. You can't deny that it worked really well for me. So of course, that's not the same thing I use now. But now it's more like I would reach out to people. I try to make it personal. Like, I'll usually do a voice recording instead of just like a typed message. But I'll just say something like, hey, Mary, for some reason, I just can't get you off my mind lately. I don't know how much you've been watching my journey with Plexus and how much this has completely changed my life. But I just can't stop thinking about how much of a blessing this could be for you and your family. I know you would be so good at this. You have such an incredible rapport with people. You have a great network. Like, I'll just compliment them and tell them all the reasons they would be so good at what I do, and how, like this, I don't know if you've been watching, but this has completely changed everything for my family. And then I'll say, I'm sure you'd have, tons of questions. Is there a time that we could chat? Just so simple, like something like that, but alarms going off. But to let them know that they came to my mind and that I see potential in them to have what I have, because this is life-changing. This could completely change everything for you too. This could be such a blessing for you and your family. And here's why I see that you'd be successful. So, that's more how I would message people now.
So what would you say, like at the beginning? Say somebody's on here that started or may not have a large team, and may not have, the financial success that they've been in here longer, or that, you're higher up. What would you say, what is something that you would send for them? And if y'all have other questions, put them in here real fast too. But what would be something that you could send? Because I know for us, it's easy for us because we're like, I mean, we do have this huge, huge,
which is a huge advantage. Like,
right.
let's not
So like
deny
for somebody first starting off, or for somebody that, you know, is building slower, because again, if y'all haven't watched my video from today that I did on the team page, go watch it, because everybody's journey is different in life. I'm going to get on a tangent real fast. Go watch it. I went to a retreat this weekend, and if you've seen it, I was preaching this morning. I'm just saying, but God has plucked you in your journey specifically for you. And you cannot watch other people's journeys. You cannot watch anything. You have to focus on what he's given you. And he's given you Plexus, guys. And if it takes 10 years to get where one of us has gotten, it's okay. That's your journey.
Yeah.
And as I'm preaching this, I go into the gym because I'm talking about all aspects of life. And I'm like, that girl is so much skinnier than me. I'm like, she looks so much better. I'm like, okay, let's get back to what I was just talking about. But in every aspect of life. And so sometimes your journey is going to go at a slower pace. You may be in a different phase of life. You may not be able to do the things, you know, like we did, or however. And so please don't take it as, if you don't go fast, you're not going to be successful, because
no, not at all.
Yeah. So anyway, so tell us something, like for maybe somebody like in a different journey that we were on. Tell us how you would reach out.
So same thing, like as with the health testimonials, people have great success, you know, sharing right away, even before they have their own. So that's when you borrow other people's testimonials. And it's the same thing, like if you're building slow and you don't really have that paycheck to back you, or that success that people can see, is you can say, you know what, there is no question, you probably know I'm crazy about these products because they've completely changed my life. They've helped me and my family with all this stuff. But here's the thing. I had no clue how incredibly life-changing this income opportunity can be by sharing this with others and helping others get healthy. And I've just looked, you know, I've been looking into this compensation plan. I have all these friends that are, you know, building these financial empires around me, and I've decided I'm going all in. And I want to find some key friends that want to go all the way with me. Like, you've got to look at this and see what this has to offer. I'm going all in, and I'm looking for a few key people to take all the way to the top with me. So, I mean, that's something that anyone could do, whether they've never really had success or whatever, you know. But before you have that type of confidence and you can share that with that much boldness, you really have to look at what you have to offer and get excited about it. And the way we do that is by watching that video by Natalie Fuller, and watching my Why Plexus, I did the research for you, and reading your Learn to Earn pamphlet in the Success Kit. And once you really spend some time on it, and especially if you were to compare it at the other compensation plans that are out there, you would be like, I've got to tell everyone about this. You know, you'd walk through a brick wall to share it with people. And it's that genuine excitement because you understand it that gives you the success when you reach out to people saying that, even if you've never had a great paycheck yet. You know what I mean?
Right. Another thing that I think totally builds belief is go watch Diamond documentaries, guys. I can tell you, number one, how different each diamond is. And I can't tell you how different each diamond team looks. I mean, honestly, there's people with hundreds of level ones, and there's people with, you know, not even 100 level ones, I being one, but I have a lot of business builders. Do I have wholesale? Absolutely, I have wholesale, but I have a lot of business builders. And so by looking at those Diamond documentaries, you can see different personalities. You can see outgoing people. You can see introverted people. You can see people with lots of kids. You can see people with no kids. You can see every aspect, but that builds belief is hearing these people's stories. And you can share those, you can send those to people. You know, one thing that I do is, you know, this I was watching this video and it totally made me think of you. It reminded me of you so much. Send the video to them, because stories sell. Stories definitely sell anything, because, you know, we can have the facts, and the facts tell us everything. The facts are good to have. but the stories touch somebody's heart, you know, and somebody can relate with that story. And so when you're watching those Diamond documentaries, and I can repost them, I know they've been hidden and moved in all kinds of places, but that's what's going to tug at people's heartstrings and think, oh my gosh, I can totally do this. I mean, I've had people that I know my whole life that like flat out have told me, if you can do this, anybody can do this, because it's so not my personality. And somebody will say, oh, that's so rude. I'm like, no, I didn't take it rude at all. They know me. They know that this is so outside of my comfort zone, and they know that this is so not my personality that, you know, they were like, if you can do it, anybody can do it. And so I know that you may be thinking that. And guys, anybody on here, because I did not believe. And that's another thing we talk about is learning to believe in the business, in network marketing, in the company, in the products, in yourself, in being a leader. You have to learn to believe it. And the more you do that, your confidence absolutely is going to grow. Okay, well, I have one more question. If anybody else has a question, post it real fast. But Can
I say something real quick first, Beth, before I lose it?
Yeah.
Adding on to what you said about sharing videos, like that's huge. Yes. I can't tell you how many people on my team use that video that I made, why Plexus, I did the research for you, to reach out to people about the opportunity. And they say, you look at my friend Whitney's story, like look what this has done for her and the research she did, why she chose this. And I'm so excited. I'm going all in with it now too. And you guys, now we're friends. You can say, this is my friend Whitney. You can use that. You can use those Diamond documentaries. But like Beth said, find something that people are going to relate to. Find, you know, if it's a single mom, use one of those single mom Diamond documentaries, whatever it is. But use other people's stories, because like she said, that's what touches people in the heart, and that's what's going to make them take that leap of faith. So
I want to ask you this, because you did build with the business from the beginning, and I actually had, and I know what I say to this, like I'm totally confident in this, but in the beginning I may not have been so confident in this. I had actually one of Luke's, my 15-year-old, one of his friends at school, well, he's not at that school anymore, but when he left, Luke said, hey, Mom, Austin's been trying to convince me that Plexus is a pyramid scheme. 15 years old, they're saying, and I'm like, oh my gosh, let me get started on that one, because, you know, his mom is a salesperson at a retail store that, you know, is selling something to make a commission, you know.
Oh gosh.
But for somebody who's never done this before, and somebody looking in on the outside, and because in the past there have been pyramid schemes, what would you say to somebody that says, and again, I know what I would say, but I want to hear what you would say, oh, that's just a pyramid scheme. What would you say to that?
I would say, actually, I hope you know me well enough to know that I would never be involved in something unethical like that. And just so you know, pyramid schemes are a member of the DSA. What is that called? No, I can't even remember what. Yeah. And they're extremely ethical. And I say the funny thing is that's such a misconception people don't understand with multi-level marketing or social marketing or whatever. When you look at any type of a career, typically it's going to look like a pyramid. So I'd say, what do you do, for example? And I like to use the example of a teacher at a school, you know, because you've got like the janitors, you've got the teachers, you've got the principals, you've got the superintendent, you've got like it all, when you look at it, it looks like a pyramid. And the sad thing about it is people that are in corporate America, typically that's what their type of career looks like, a pyramid. And it's much, much more difficult to move up the ranks in the pyramid there than with something like this, where you get to decide the level that you want to get paid and the level that you're willing to work for. So this is actually, I mean, it gives you so much more freedom and opportunity, and it's much more ethical than the typical career path out there, or cubicle scheme.
I agree 1,000,000%. I was so floored that they were having this conversation at school. I was like, what? And then I like got mad. I was like, no, we are not going to talk like, you know, but anyways, it was kind of enlightening and kind of funny. Anyways, he was hearing stuff at home, I'm sure. Anyways, but so that's exactly what I say. I mean, you look at anything, take any kind of job you have, unless you're self-employed and doing something on your own, you're always going to have a boss or somebody that's higher up or an owner or whatever. And so, and you're never going to outrank those people. You're never going to outrank the owner. But I'm here to tell you that people on our teams below us can outrank us, and they can make more money than us. And so it really is, I mean, yes. So I just wanted to hear how you said it, because that's just something that happened, kind of funny, that happened in our life. And I know there's people out there, especially when you are beginning, and people that just don't get it. And so that's the question that comes up. So anyway,
it's all about misunderstandings and just informing people, educating people, and letting them see that you're an ethical person too. You know what I mean? Is huge.
Yeah. For sure. Okay, anything else, anyone? This has been so great, and I can't wait to watch that video. Like I said, I just love Whitney, and I love her story, and it was so funny when I finally put 2 and 2 together. That's who that was. But I feel like, I mean, it's weird. I feel like I've known you longer than not even a year.
I know. That's why when you said, was that the first time we met? I was like, no, we've known each other for a long time. It feels like that.
I know. So anyways, well, y'all, this has been amazing. Share it with your teams when I upload it and download it and all of that. And follow Whitney, because I'm sure she has some posts that you can learn from and that you can watch from. Follow her so you can see those things. And like I said, that's the great thing. One great thing about Plexus is that we do share things with each other. And so she's offering this video for us to use, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you for doing that. But that definitely is a tool. And so you don't have to reinvent the wheel with Plexus. There's so much stuff that's already been done for you. Use these resources that we have. Use these Zooms that we have. Use these trainings. Use all of this stuff that we have. And so, and I will post the video on our team page as well, this video and her video. So anyways, thank y'all all for being on. Thank you again, Whitney. We appreciate it so much. And y'all all have a great day.
Have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Beth.
Bye.